Hey, this is Jamie from Capsule Computers, and welcome to Play Me Maybe. How things work is simple. I'll try a game I've never played before for about an hour. At the end of the hour, I'll decide if I'd be willing to continue playing the game. Today we have the Turing Test from Bulkhead Interactive and Square Enix. This first-person puzzle game is available now on Steam. So without further ado, let's get into the Turing Test. So the Turing Test is one of Square Enix's collective games. Square Enix has a program to help people get their games onto Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and it's done through a voting process from the public. So it's nice to see that Square Enix is supporting some smaller indie developers, and hopefully we should be finished loading soon.
Morning, Eva. Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA. We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses. We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the surface post-haste. You are our emergency response.
What exactly is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous. We need to re-establish communication.
Oh, okay, the sensitivity's a little high here. Let me just turn this down, like, a lot. We'll go with 3, that should be it. That should work for me. Alright. $250. Are these people actually awake, or they're in the pods? Let's see, 2250. Okay, so some of these guys have been woken up earlier. User error. 2250. That's... Oh, okay, that person was woken up yesterday. Oh, pod malfunction. That's sad. Okay, so it looks like I am like the last remaining person here.
Pick up your EMT. It's on the side. Okay. We are going to take a lander to Europa. Make your way to the docking station.
As some of you may know, I am a Colmac user, and I actually use the SDF, or whatever the WSAD equivalent, or the Colmac equivalent is that, and I've noticed that it doesn't actually change the key bindings, it just kind of tells you the old ones so far. Which is a little disappointing, but I know I'm a really tiny minority.
What's the ship's status?
I have performed the necessary checks. The Europa lander is ready to launch.
Let's take a peek outside. Nothing too interesting.
Bay 3.
Retro?
Go.
Fido?
Go.
Guidance?
Go.
Control?
Go.
Telcon?
Go.
Then we are go for launch initiating.
Separate.
Engaging retrofire. I'm running the program, 80 degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure. Trajectory looks good. 502 alarm. It looks like we're coming in too fast.
We are slightly short of the landing site. We are going to have to burn late. Go.
Full retrograde. Open the door.
Welcome to Europa.
Okay, that was very Halo ODST-like, although it actually turned out to be more of a regular lander in the end. I thought it was going to be like a full ODST drop capsule. So far, I have to say, I'm really impressed with the visuals of this game. It's not only is everything just like really high resolution and gorgeous looking, the art design is fantastic. Alright, so now we're inside this, I guess this little base. I guess this is like decontamination?
The base has changed.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules. The base was built initially by machines. I served as the mind of these operations. I arrived first on Europa in 2240. It costs a lot to send humans into space with the necessary life support, especially such a vast distance from Earth. So, robotics built this place.
I wonder why the ground team has changed these rooms.
I have a hypothesis. These rooms are Turing tests.
Turing tests?
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart. Typically, problems only solvable by a human. A combination of logical and lateral thinking.
So, you can't complete these tests, Tom?
No. That is why I am glad you are here to help. We need to work together.
Puzzles are simple so far, but I expect things to get harder very quick.
They really have completely repurposed these rooms. I am quite impressed.
So, what were they used for before?
Most of them were used for storage, but they have converted them beyond recognition. Perhaps they ran out of things to do out here. The devil makes work for idle hands.
So far, this AI seems like a friendlier version of GLaDOS. Oh, okay, I guess I don't need to go back. this has got some pretty good range on this thing.
Do you know the ground team's location?
The crew are deeper inside the base, it seems.
They must be trying to survive. Can you find their precise location?
I'm afraid not. I am working to regain control. Though I once had complete control of this base, a lot has changed in the past 500 hours.
Oh, this puzzle's pretty nifty. Heck, if I can figure out how to get this one across. Gotta somehow grab this from the other side. This core is locked in. Here we go. Alright, so these ones are interchangeable. Good to know.
So if this base is managed by you, why can't you find the crew?
The base's communication array is malfunctioning.
I'm sure there's some sort of little Easter egg or something in here.
Perhaps we can't solve this yet.
Okay, well, that's pretty direct. Alright, let's see. Got one. Where's our second one? I guess we'll go back to where we were. Oh, nope, we can actually grab that one.
This doesn't add up.
What does not add up?
If there was an accident, surely they'd come to find me, not try to lock me out.
My instance is still resolving conflicts. I expect they have their reasons.
So I guess we will need to fire this one across.
My instance has just been updated.
Sorry?
I have two instances of my mind, two separate versions. A slave mind running on the satellite, and a master running here on the surface. When the communication was cut between the surface base and the satellite, the two instances of my mind were separated. So, during all this time, all of my knowledge divided into two separate branches. I continue to learn on the satellite, and I continue to learn on the surface. I am trying to merge the knowledge to create a timeline of what's happened here. But there are incongruities between these memories, conflicts.
Oops, locked myself out. So far, I think fans of Portal will really enjoy this game.
This is the command center. You can check on the crew status from here.
Especially Portal 2, where there was a little more story. Not sure why there's nothing's happening here. So, I guess they're alive. There's some bios and... Oh, I guess they're not alive. So we got one missing... One, I guess, is dead. Oh, we have a survivor here. So, 3 missing, 1 dead. It's not a good sign. So where are we off to now?
Tom, start recording.
I am always recording, Daniel.
The day is January the 6th. My watch says it's 2:30 on Earth. Here we are, members of the human race, standing on Jupiter's moon Europa. I am Captain Daniel McLean. I'm joined here by the rest of my team. It is our intention to make this moon our home and investigate life on this planet. Man's curiosity and appetite for discovery will continue to change our world for the better.
Inspiring. And might I add my congratulations to you all.
Here it is. Beautiful, isn't it? What makes this one more remarkable than the others? The way it attaches itself to other organisms. Its behavior is very abnormal. It seems to form a symbiotic relationship with most life forms. How do you mean? Do you want me to dumb it down? I know what it means. What does it do? It attaches itself to almost anything living, but it's not parasitic. It's quite alien. We're trying to figure out what effects it has on life forms.
That's foreboding. Let's go with number 3.
Mikhail, you seem distant.
Do I?
Yes. What's wrong? What's wrong, Mikhail? Mikhail, what's wrong? Are you listening, Mikhail? Are you able to hear?
I was talking to the ISA. They don't know what to do with this. The magnitude of the discovery.
We should send samples back to Earth. I think we need to get this to a better lab. Me and Sochi are having trouble making enough clones. I'm going to run out of the necessary resources to continue studying organism 119.
They're calling for a grounding of all Europa transport until they get your report.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's rather drastic.
I was talking...
How do I get back?
Tom, start recording.
I am
There we
always
go.
recording, Daniel.
The day is
What condition should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved in an accident.
Could we take a more direct way to the ground team?
Unfortunately, there is not a direct route. The base is buried under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper into the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
Okay, what are their chances of survival here? Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. There was a small problem with the food stores, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
So we're gonna need to power up this magnet somehow. Seem like any of these do the trick. Let's see what's inside here. Okay, so this is going to need to be picked up at some point. I wonder if we turned off the magnet when we did this. No, this just seems to be holding it. Alright, where else can we fire this thing? Oh, did we pull? I'm pretty sure we pulled this at one point. Pulled an orb out of this. So let's move this one a little closer. Yep, here we go. So far, the puzzles aren't too hard. They're...
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands. The distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
Not sure if this other side door is a red herring or is something as part of the puzzle. Looks like this is going to be part of the puzzle. I guess the key will be to figure out... I'm guessing something inside there is what's needed to weigh down that switch. Ooh, this looks foreboding.
How does the ISA know you're gonna make the right decisions here when they can't communicate with us?
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth. His name is Michael. The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
So I'm gonna have to somehow bring this one outside. And bring the other one inside. Let's see if we can see from in here. Is there another one that I can grab? Here we go. Use this one. This one in here for now. Let's get this hatch open. another of the round ones. Where could it be? Let's explore this side a little further. Restricted area from earlier? Definitely different. Okay, this seems like it's a proximity alarm. This is ridiculously slow, but it's working. Okay, time to see what's going on here. I guess this is their version of like a chatbot Turing test. I don't think so. I'm a human. Oh, that's interesting. Usually these sort of Turing tests are the other way around. Okay, so how do we exit from here? Oh. I don't actually have control over what it's being typed anymore. Well, it says no, it makes no difference. I cannot quit out. Oh, escape. I want to escape. Hit escape triggers that. That was actually pretty cool. I'm guessing that's going to be foreshadowing a huge plot point later. shame. I wish I spent a little more time trying to figure out the,
Did the ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I have been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself. Have you heard of the Turing Test, Ava? It's a test to see if a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing Test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing Test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
Do you think you'd pass the Turing test?
I am quite capable of polite conversation, wouldn't you say? The Turing test has been criticized. Researchers claim it does not correctly test a machine's ability to think, but rather its ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room. In this room, you are passed Chinese sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English. This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese. In the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced you are a native Chinese speaker.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing test. A computer can pass the Turing test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you. This is the crew's quarters. It looks abandoned.
Wow, that's kind of creepy. Okay, so we seem to have had quite a bit of success with this drilling. Not sure if this was blurred out purposely or if it's just low res. Oh, okay, this one. I guess that one must have been purposely blurred out. Cool. May have found a cure to aging here on Europa. Wasn't this the doctor who was just completely catatonic earlier from the audio logs? Wow, okay, so Tom seems to be a lot more like, GLaDOS than we originally thought.
These people should not have been sent here. It's not safe.
Manned space travel is not safe. Since mankind first entered space, the debate has raged over the value of manned space travel. There is a large contingent of the ISA that believes all tasks that need to be performed on Europa could be performed by machines. It is obviously less risky to send machines rather than humans into space.
Nope. Oh. Rats. Did not want to punt it there. Oh, I'm gonna have to change up order of what I'm doing. But I think I got this puzzle.
We sent drones to Earth's moon. Scientists can remotely operate drones. If we did it there, why not here too?
Teleoperation became possible on the moon when the communication latency was reduced to 1.4 seconds. The distance between the Earth and Earth's moon is approximately 1.3 light seconds. This enables near real-time control of drones by scientists. The story is different with Europa, as the distance between Earth and Jupiter oscillates between approximately 32 and 53 light minutes. It takes a very long time for Earth to communicate with Europa. Due to that distance, teleoperation will never be possible on Europa.
Okay, but why not control drones from the satellite?
Why not indeed? My systems can be teleoperated from Europa's satellite. That is when the communication lines are open. However, the advantages of human field workers apparently outweigh the risks.
So, why can't you solve these tests, Tom?
I am not permitted to think laterally. Parts of my systems are permitted to use evolutionary algorithms. This simulates what is called creativity. However, evolutionary algorithms can converge on inefficient and ethically suboptimal solutions. Since this is the case, I am only permitted to take actions in response to a set of constraints.
What do you mean by morally suboptimal?
Solutions to problems that transgress ethical boundaries.
don't think there is a... I think I'm gonna have to double back here. Place some of these. Puzzles are definitely getting a lot more interesting now that we're into Chapter 3. 1 and 2 are a bit slow.
Why does a lack of creativity stop you solving these tests?
Well, I contend that problem solving is creativity. These human interaction tests are exercising your creative mind.
I don't see how problem solving is creative.
Think back to the beginning of these tests, to the first puzzle you solved. It required you to throw a box through a window. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I simply had never thought to throw a box through a window. That is creativity, thinking outside of the box.
Can a computer ever be creative?
They can. But a computer's method of creativity is to try everything until something works. Think of nature. People consider nature creative. The process of evolution by natural selection. It perhaps started with one organism. From there, it essentially tried to create every organism it could. Those organisms that did not survive perished. So, nature's creative force is to try every conceivable idea. Those ideas that work survive.
Okay, so why aren't you permitted to emulate that process?
Because the solutions that a biological process creates are not always good solutions. As we see, nature is morally ambivalent. It will happily create morally suboptimal ideas to fulfill its creative mandate. We see this in parasitic worms, viruses, and pathogens.
If you weren't restricted, do you think you could be creative?
As creative as a human? Certainly. You believe yourself to be a creative. But in mathematical terms, creativity is merely constrained chaos.
What do you mean?
I have discerned that creativity is divergent thinking, creating an organic solution to a problem. In the human mind, divergent thoughts are created and then curated by the frontal lobe. I can create divergent thoughts and moderate them. So, I am creative.
Organic solutions?
Organic, in that it is developed through a biological process, whether that is the process of evolution or a computed process.
Can I move this aside? No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, we have another computer terminal to check out. Like. Game within a game. Oh boy. This on purpose, or did I just glitch the door? Oh, no. I didn't put it far enough. Oh, this is annoying. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Is there maybe a way to back out? Hopefully this doesn't push us too far back.
If you weren't restricted, do you think you could be creative?
As creative as a human? Certainly. You believe yourself to be a creative. But in mathematical terms, creativity is merely constrained chaos.
What do you mean?
I have discerned that creativity is divergent thinking, creating an organic solution to a problem. In the human mind, divergent thoughts are created and then curated by the frontal lobe. I can create divergent thoughts and moderate them. So, I am creative.
Organic solutions?
Organic, in that it is developed through a biological process, whether that is the process of evolution or a computed process.
Okay, so you could solve these tests, but in a terrible fashion. Can you think of a solution to this one?
Chop off your arm and leave it on the button. That way the door will stay open.
Yeah, that's not a great solution.
You threw the box through the window. Perhaps we could throw you through the window.
Actually, Tom, I think I'm okay for help.
Right you are.
Wow, those really are some pretty awful solutions. Okay, so let's dump this off.
Can I have an update on the crew?
I have not managed to track them down.
It will have been 6 years since I've seen them. Or anyone, actually.
They have locked all the doors. I would not expect a warm reception.
Well, at least they're expecting us. So what was the need to send us here?
When the ISA discovered life on Europa, they deemed a ground crew necessary. The advantage of human field workers is that they can adapt to new knowledge more effectively. I, apparently, was not cutting the mustard. It is the Chinese room problem. A computer may be able to interact with new knowledge, but it does not know the value of that knowledge.
Is there anywhere we can shoot this? Looks like the final door is open that way. I guess we'll just angle this back here, and huzzah! Ish.
I've started to collate information from my local instance. It seems the crew intentionally cut communication with the satellite.
Why?
It appears we had a disagreement.
guess the rest of the crew found out about the mind control gadget. Ooh, the sensitivity on this one is not good.
This confirms my fears. The crew have made intentional breaches of my security. The crew have attempted to compromise my systems.
What does this mean?
They don't want to be found. They are hiding.
From who?
Us.
Wow, they've trashed this place. I wonder if there's anything story-wise that'd be useful here. Well, it was kind of unfortunate that we had a little hiccup there in the restricted area. Kind of wish I could go back to the first chapter and check out that restricted area. Actually, I think I might, after I finish recording this video, go back and see. But this is probably the best time to stop. Would I put more hours into the game? Absolutely. I mean, I just said I was about to go back to the first chapter to see that restricted area. The music and visual style is just fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's gorgeous. It's moody. And I think this feels a lot more like a subtle thinker's version of Portal story-wise. I like the whole idea of the Turing Test, and it seems like we're going in the direction of what it means to be in control of what you do and whatnot. So that to me sounds really interesting. The puzzles are a little disappointing so far. There's only been like one or two that have been really hard. Most of them are pretty straightforward and easy, but even then I'm having a lot of fun, and so far, based on what I've experienced, I'd highly recommend this game. So that's it for me. I hope to see you soon. This is Jamie from Capsule Computers signing off.